Hi, I'm Julia Waldorf. Sorry. That's okay. You didn't know. So, anyway, on juliawaldorf.com, I have a website that's a video website, and that's why I'm having Ron?
Ken.
Ken, sorry, I'm really bad at things.
Ron should be doing that.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, Ken video me because I'll be posting it on the website. This is a little bit of icebreaker, and happy Valentine's Day. This really is my fourth speech that I've given at Toastmasters. I came from San Luis Obispo and lived out there for about 4 years. But first of all, I'm originally from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'm a little farm girl that came into the big city in my teens in Colorado Springs a long time ago, and I actually graduated from Doherty High School. So my mother was an entrepreneur and my father was a police officer, so I'm a rebel with a mission. Anyway, so I have 5 sisters and 4 sons, and I love them all. They're great. I know about how girls are, and I know how boys are. And they're opposite, but they're great. You know, it's a good mesh, I think. So learned a lot in my childhood about relationships with girls, and raising 4 boys, I learned a lot about how boys are so different from girls. They're dangerous. Anyway, so I lived in Colorado Springs and had my own business for several years. I moved up to Divide to live in the mountains because I love the mountains. And as I was semi-retired in my late 30s, I took my boys and went to Breckenridge. And I played up in Breckenridge at Peak 7 and got back into working. And enjoyed that until the market went boom, the bubble popped. So I have 2 sisters out in California. So I decided, well, I always thought I'd move to California because I took many vacations out there, and I love the beach. The beach is in my heart, but the mountains are in my soul. So I went out to the beach, loved the beach, but I came back to Colorado Springs, starting all over, and back home where I belong. This is my calling to be here. So here I am. So, lo and behold, that's enough about me. I'll say Happy Valentine's Day. Are you guys familiar with what Valentine's is all about? Anybody?
Yes. St. Valentine married couples.
In the late 300 AD, there was a war going on, and the king said no soldiers can get married, none, because soldiers make better soldiers if they're not married. But Bishop Valentine actually said, oh, I disagree with that. I'm going to run around marrying everybody. I'm going to marry as many people as I can on the sly. So he got caught. So the king said, execute that guy. And this bishop was Bishop Valentine. So while he was in jail, the jailer introduced him to his daughter, because the daughter probably came over there and fed him or whatever. And they said in the internet, as I read several times, he healed the jail's daughter. So they had some sort of relationship, as fathers can do, they heal. And so lo and behold, the day that he was executed was February 14th. And he wrote a little note. The very first Valentine made was signed, Your Valentine, the bishop. So there you go. So that's the story behind the Valentine thing. And here we are today. It's the most second popular occasion. And there's lots of chocolates and lots of flowers bought besides Christmas and Mother's Day, which I thought was interesting. Anyway, so which brings me to, they said over 220,000 people propose marriage on this day. And I thought that was interesting. How many people are married in this group?
Oh,
yeah. And how many people are single in this group? And how many people are divorced in this group?
Married and divorced.
Yeah,
When do I raise
I consider myself, I'm married twice single, you know? The big D word, doesn't really fit, right? So anyway, with my experience in life, I've been married twice, and I actually still have relationships with, my ex-husbands, which they're great. But I came up with this conclusion that marriage is broken. Over 60% in our country, 60% of the marriages, they get a divorce. So divorce is not the problem. Marriage is the problem. Divorce is the solution to the problem, right? Okay, so with that solution, no one likes to run around saying, I'm divorced. How can you kind of like resolve that? Marriage isn't a bad thing. Marriage is a good thing. It's a commitment that is a good, I think it's a good, strong thing, especially if you have kids. It's wonderful. So I came up with this. When people do get married, they should come up with a 3-5-7-year plan. And with the 3-5-7-year plan, which adds up to 15 years. So in 15 years, you sit down and you say, okay, we're going to get married. Let's start asking questions. You at least ask 500 questions apiece, please. You know, where are you going to be in 15 years? Where are you going to live? Are you going to go on vacation? Are you going to go around the world? Are you going to have 5 kids or just a pet dog? Maybe you just like cats. Who knows? You know, you just don't know until you start talking. But talk, okay? And ask the questions and write it down. And you also say, well, if it doesn't work, how are we going to split up? You take a car, we split the equity, whatever. Whatever works. If we have kids, we plan that out too, because those kids have to be taken care of. That's the big issue. So lo and behold, you fold that piece of paper up and you put it in the safe. Then you go, okay, let's get real. Let's go for 3 years. Plan out your 3 years. Are we going to go to school? Are we going to paint the house pink? Are we going to go on vacation? Are we just going to eat fish on Friday and eat, you know, dinner with grandma on Sunday and go to work 5 days a week? What are we going to do in the next 3 years? So you plan that out, you write it down, you get married, and after 3 years, if everything's good, you go for 5 and get remarried. Okay? And if it doesn't work out, it's null and void, no divorce. It's okay, you already discussed that too. So then you go for 5 years and you do it again. You get remarried, or it's null and void. And even if the plans don't work out because life changes and things happen, if you guys are still getting along and communicating, that's the key. So then you go ahead and plan for another 7, and then you pull out that sheet of paper and go, hey, did we do this plan? Did we do our bucket list? So anyway, there's my happy Valentine's marriage plan for people, considering over 220,000 people are asking, you know, to get married. I say, propose to someone today, one way or the other. Give them flowers, give them candy, give them a card, give them a kiss, and have fun. Peace, love.